Sprinters. Today, the CEO tip is one of my favorite tools that I use every week. It's called the weekly habit, and it's about getting the answer to the question: are you moving in the right direction at the right pace? And you want to have this in three numbers visually. Very simple, right? Because if you have it simple, then it's like Angry Birds. It's not like work. It's like Angry Birds. You shoot the bird, 500 points. You shoot the next bird, 700 points. What do you want to do next? 800 points. Let's go to over 800. God, can we do 1,000 next week? That's what happens. That's human nature. That's what happens when you feel the impact of what you do. It's simple, it's in front of you, and then everybody can agree, align on that, and then teams starting getting momentum. And momentum then gives energy back because that's fun, and then they want to go for 1,000 points. That's how human nature works. Now, the hard part is to create the dashboard. So we did create one for you. You can have it from your sprint coach. But if you want to create your own, first question is, what is velocity for us? So how do we know what are the three numbers that tell us that we are moving in the right direction at the right pace? Okay, it's not just speed, it's velocity. That's speed including the direction of the speed, because you can run very fast a marathon in the wrong direction. That's the worst thing ever. So speed and direction. How do you know speed? That's the difference between strategy and planning. That in strategy there is a definition of how you will win and what it means for your team to win. That thing, and if you need help, we are our strategy advisors. That's exactly what we do, and we can define it with you. Then you break it down into three numbers. For example, a marketing number is an operations number, a sales number. Can be number of subscribers per week, number of client referrals per week, number of closed deals per week. Let's say you pick those three numbers. Now you have a simple visual dashboard, current, target, and that's it. Current, target, current, target, current, target, and you see the delta, you see the variation in between, right? That's it. I personally, I like also to have a 4 weeks moving average of the last 4 weeks and of the last 4 weeks. So sometimes when my team every Friday tells me exactly those numbers. And so sometimes the team says, Simon, our click rate on the emails went up 0.7%, so 0.7%. Then I'm interested and I ask, what does it mean compared to the 4 weeks moving average? And then they go, that means it's 0.9% over 5 weeks. And I go, so there is something working there. And so we learn from that. Same thing when there is a variation down. So if you have minus 0.2%. So you will learn from the weekly discussion of these numbers, and you will get the weak signals. This is really important. It saved us so much money and time because you see early when something is not working, you see early when something is working. And so when you do this exercise, it's just three numbers, but your whole team will have a simpler life, will have more fun doing it. So basically there will be more energy in the task, and then there are also results, and with more results they get more motivation again. That's one of the positive loops in the flow theory and team flow theory. And then the other thing is that you will have now numbers to base your decisions on. What's the opposite? If you don't have those three numbers, what are you basing your decisions on? Feeling? A narrative? Most people have a narrative and base decisions based on narratives. Now, the scientific method says something else. It says you have always just narratives, assumptions, but an assumptions needs to be written down, invalidated. If you cannot invalidate it, it's validated. When you validate it, it's a theory, and from a theory, you can go and build a formula or an algorithm when you know that it's working. So it's assumption, invalidation, theory, formula, or algorithm. That's how you go from something fuzzy, you don't know, sometimes you know, but not always it works, until, yeah, always like that. Every time we do this happens. Okay? That's how you go from not knowing to knowing something, and then to knowing. And that's a really important process that happens in every team, because basically you don't know the markets, you don't know if you will win, you don't know what will happen in the supply chains around you, you just don't know. So you have to write down your assumptions, test if they are true, act on it, and then you will find something that works. But it takes many iterations of going through things that don't work. And that's why it's important that you have this knowledge weekly, so you waste less time and you take decisions based on your reality. And your reality is what you pick as being the 3 most important numbers that tell you 80% of the story. Are we moving in the right direction at the right pace? Hope that helps. Keep rolling.
What if your business would run well even when you are on vacation? Discover how 1,600 business owners have regained their freedom using the Strategy Sprints blueprints. How they enjoy living their dream and watching their business scale. Get the exact checklists they use to go from stressed to fulfilled using the Strategy Sprints method. Order your copy of Strategy Sprints 12 Ways to Accelerate Growth for an Agile Business on Amazon today. And if you love it, leave us a review. For more information, head over to strategysprints.com.